Alright, hello guys, good afternoon. We are from Kayako team. I'm Junie Sorsano.
And I'm Jay Daryanani.
Ayun, so welcome guys to our first episode of our TATAK Indio.
Yes, the first premiere episode.
Yes, I'm so excited. Kasi nga guys, to our viewers, especially no, yung mga syempre mga followers natin, this is actually, our online show is actually dedicated to Filipinos who are, alam niyo, meron silang katangi-tanging pagmamahal sa kulturang Pilipino. And
True.
this is very unique online show, especially sa mga OFW na marami na tayong mga napapanood ng mga online shows. But this one focuses more on Filipino artists, Filipino talents, Filipino culture, yung mga ganon.
Exactly, and hindi lang yung mga OFWs yung ano natin, yung mga guests natin. Actually, yung gusto nating i-highlight dito is yung mga Filipinos who are bringing out the culture
True.
on the global scale.
Which is mahirap yun kasi di ba parang ito nga high-tech na ngayon,
Exactly.
right? And then marami nang tinatawag ng mga the global Filipino adapting to technology, adapting to all the innovations and mga tawag nito, mga changes na meron tayo. But then we still appreciate, no, especially Kayako brand, appreciate Filipino that remains pure Filipino pa rin even ditong modernized na lahat-lahat.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, but then before natin ipakilala ang ating first guest this afternoon, let's talk about the Kayako Watch muna, Jessica.
Yeah.
Ayan, so surprise question.
Surprise!
Okay, so ito kasi no, just a comment kasi nga we have so many followers now following us on our different social media pages. So people really appreciate yung concept and advocacy of our brand. It's because we are after with empowering Filipinos, not only just Filipina, but of course Filipino as a whole.
Yes.
So with so many mga ongoing activities na ginawa natin before before pandemic. Okay. So what do you love more about our brands talaga? Just to give siguro information or additional information sa mga viewers natin na maaring first time lang tayong finalo, yung gano'n. So,
First live.
True. So ano yung pinaka-DNA ng Kayako?
Well, yung pinaka-DNA talaga ng Kayako is more on empowering Filipinos and not only Filipinas, although the first product that we released is for Filipina empowerment, but we want to empower every single Filipino, whether you're in the Philippines and you're hustling it there, or you're abroad and you're making a good life for yourself or making it for your family. We really want to empower Filipinos on a global scale.
Ayan. And also, this is also a good platform. No? That's why siguro marami mga viewers natin are really like supporting us because our platform can also be used to inspire people lang. So we're not here not only just to sell our limited edition watches. We're in ang watch po natin, very special luxury brand, 100% Filipino in all elements of the watch that everybody loves and really be proud of being a Filipino, especially yung nasa ibang bansa tayo kasi like on our field, di ba? Yung mundo nating iniikutan, yung technology, yung brands, yung diversity of Dubai, and the diversity syempre ng mga Filipino na professionals, 'di ba, na nakipag talaga naman kung hindi man pumantay, kayang angatan yung kakayahan din ng mga ibang lahi. Yun, so that actually makes us more proud as Filipino. And the Kayako brand actually is a representation po ng lahat ng mga aspirations natin, of course, all of our successes.
True.
Ayan. So, eto na. So, I think, partner, huwag na natin patagalin ang ating bisita kasi nga we are very excited to introduce.
Very excited, yes.
Okay. So, ito lang. Impression mo muna kasi nga, guys, actually, our first guest this afternoon is not only just a guest. Right? He is part of our upcoming Amihan watch series.
Yes,
right?
Our latest
Yes.
collection. We've shared a little bit about it, but parang hush-hush pa lang siya. But our first guest is super special to us in particular because he was the man, the myth, the legend behind our Amihan collection.
And help us a lot when it comes to understanding yung how to read by buying.
Exactly.
Ano yung mga Indio
the Indio design culture, he was the one who really ingrained it for us and always kept us on track. Like, no, our elements have to be like this. Stay true.
Di ba nakakatuwa lang that there are still people, especially Filipinos, na talagang into that, tawag ito, designs.
Yes.
Di ba kasi tayo ba nakikita natin yan, ang common, ako personally, ang tingin ko lang, parang tribal design, gano'n lang siya. Pero
Yes.
he has a different definition as an artist sa
Yeah.
kanyang mga ginagawa.
Different perspective also.
Exactly.
Very, very unique perspective when it comes to designing.
And help us siguro to to go back to our root. Yun ang natutuwa ko.
Exactly, yes.
Ito
Like,
lang.
yeah.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, ayan, I'd like to introduce our first guest for this afternoon. Ayan, a graduate of sociology, tattooist, visual artist, and licensed real estate broker, based in Siargao Island, and born in Zamboanga City. So marunong to mag-Espanyol ng konti. Grew up in Davao City before finally settling in Siargao Island. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome INIGO JALDON. Hello, INIGO.
Hi. Gandang araw, June. Hi, guys.
Hi!
Kamusta po kayo?
Yes, bati ka muna sa mga viewers natin, INIGO, na nanonood ngayon. Actually, we have viewers coming from different countries eh.
Ganun po. Hi, guys. Greetings from Siargao. Good morning, I guess, or good afternoon. Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is afternoon in Dubai and I think it's evening
Yeah.
in Philippines.
Depende.
It's evening.
Depende.
Okay, so you just give us an update first, no, before we go on with our set questions para sa you as an artist. Can you give us an update lang muna dyan? How's things going on in Siargao? May mga restrictions ba tayo with this pandemic going on?
Oh yeah,
Kasi you hear the beach na sobrang super relaxing, di ba? Ito yung place
True.
na I hope I'm stuck in that place, no? Kahit mag 3 months ako, okay lang.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's true that it's one of the better places to be in during a pandemic. But with regards to, how we're dealing, the LGU is pretty good at dealing with it. We have a quarantine area, and thank God, no, regardless of, I mean, there are a lot of cases all over the region. Let's say in Cebu and other parts of the Philippines, but thank God, so far we've only had, I guess, one case, and it's he's already isolated right now. So we're back to zero. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm actually following your stories. Sorry for stalking you. Kasi di ba nakakatuwa, ito yung mga time wherein, yung nami-miss mo yung Pilipinas. Kasi nga,
True.
it's just living beside the beach, kumakain sila ng mga fresh na mga kilawin. That
Yeah.
I really wish na sana nasa Pilipinas na lang ako during the lockdown.
During lockdown, yeah, true.
Apo.
Okay, so Jessica, I think we're ready na for our questions. Kaya sa mga viewers po natin, guys, if you have questions, feel free to join us by writing down in the comment box below. Yan, especially yung mga, let's say, into tattoo. Yan yung mga pag-uusapan natin kasi yun yung medyo focus natin today.
True, true. So we'd like to know more about INIGO, and we'd like for him to share really his story, his art, his craft. So INIGO, can you tell us what's your story? Like, how did you go from where you were into creating your craft right now?
Started off, just like the average Filipino, we're all encouraged to, of course, go to school, finish college, and I kind of followed the path also because that's what my family also wanted me to do, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I pursued, education. So I got degree in sociology, got into different types of jobs from labor to corporate to being, a cook, assistant. So I had to go through all of this. So I guess all that experience kind of prepared me for the lifestyle that I really wanted, which is to pretty much do whatever I want. And art is one of it, and also living on an island. So I guess all those things kind of contributed to, the end product. So yeah, it was kind of, it will take a while before I could really tell you the story, but in a nutshell, I had to do the requisites to actually be able to enjoy what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Our next question now is, ito ano, you have a very good background, you have a very good profile, pero how or what got you into this tattooing thing?
Okay. Well, if you're in the Philippine setting, artists in the Philippines are either very talented or very lucky, and or they could just do it. Also like it's just for it's their craft or their passion. But to actually make a living as an artist in the Philippines could be quite tricky. So, being an innate artist, I would like to think that that I'm an artist to start with. I had to set that aside to pursue more practical things. So, but then I had to assess what medium I could get into to be able to make money or to actually be able to live on an island like Siargao. So that's the reason I kind of prepared my, prior to moving full time to Siargao, I had to, like develop, get into tattooing so I could make a living here. Because the first time I visited was when I was 18 years old, 1998, and I already assessed Siargao then, and that it was not feasible for me to actually move and make a living here because it was very simple, and I didn't have the life skills or the fishing or the spear fishing skills to actually make it here. So, and then come, what was that? Like maybe a decade ago, or decade, say 12, 13 years ago, when I visited here, I already assessed the place, and it was already high time for me to get, to actually live here, at least as a tattoo artist. So I kind of owe a lot to tattooing, because if it weren't because of tattooing, I wouldn't be able to stay long enough and to be able to assess and research even further as to what my next steps would be. That's the reason why I got into tattooing.
All right. Okay, so just a follow-up question, kasi nga your tattoo aesthetic is very Filipino. Okay, so how did you find inspiration for that?
um,
Kasi we
I,
check your Instagram. Sorry for stalking you again.
I sent you a lot of
tattoo mo
photos.
kasi talaga is not just tribal na katulad ng sinasabi ko kanina.
Yeah.
But then there's always like a touch of Filipino in it. So what's the story behind that designs, Inigo?
Well, art in general is just like influences. Like I don't. It's just a matter of innovating, and it's all been done. So for me, would just like to be some sort of catalyst or conduit of all these elements, and I just put it out there because growing up, being in Mindanao, we are exposed, and also being from Zamboanga, also being in Davao and living amidst tribes who visit the city often, and more so in Zamboanga where we have a lot of culture. We have a very interesting culture. It's like a mix of Malay, also influenced with Muslim culture and Christian, and so we all have all this swords and whatnot, intricate designs, okirs, and so I think that's like you get when you're an artist, you kind of get stuck in that. I mean, it kind of like gets into your subconscious, and so that's like what that's where I get my inspiration from. So when I do art, I always want to put what I see, because it's a mix of nostalgia and you want to represent also. So being Filipino, if you're gonna make art, might as well put like an imprint of yourself or Filipino as well. Yeah.
And I love that you mentioned that you wanted to put your culture and you put like an imprint of yourself, your inspiration onto your art. But how important is it for you to include and incorporate Filipino culture into your craft?
Well, because I think that's something that a lot of us, maybe not a lot of us, but we tend to overlook culture. We, especially our own, assuming that we are all on equal footing, regardless of what nationality we are, assuming that we're all on equal footing, we're earning the same or whatever, if that's an issue. What's next? Assuming we eat well, of course, you have to, it's what you are, where you come from.
Yeah.
And I think, it's high time that, although not just there are people, and more so this generation, I see and meet more people that are more in tune and more aware of their culture. I think that's very important. That's
Mhm.
it's a big part of our identity because
Yeah.
it's something bigger than us.
Okay. Pero ito, yeah, sorry. Okay, that's good. Pero kasi ako din based on my personal situation, for example, if I'm going to travel, kasi especially kasi 'di ba as we can see on his Instagram account,
Yeah.
'di ba you have non-Filipino clients na nagpapatattoo sa iyo. So for me also as a tourist, I would like to have like a tattoo that represents the place.
Exactly.
'Di ba? Parang
Yeah.
that will remind me of my travel. Oh, this tattoo reminds me of Siargao.
Yeah.
Something ganon.
Yeah.
Kaya yun. Pero on your case, what do you call this, Inigo, so how was it that, yung non-Filipino appreciates your Filipino touch designs to their tattoo, and how the collaboration will go? Kasi syempre, di ba, parang sometimes there are some clients that they would suggest something, and sometimes you naman as an artist na meron ka ng tawag nito, style or
Yeah.
identity ganyan. So how the things are going during the collaborations?
Yeah, that's a good question. When I got into the industry as a tattooist, I came in fairly late. Meaning, there were like when back in the Davao, there were so many talented tattoo artists that were very good technicians, and that were very good at application, and that they were very good at designing as well. So it was quite difficult for me to make it because I wasn't that established. So I had to kind of make a different approach. And I had to, let's say, so I assessed and I realized that I'd rather showcase my style. So instead of just doing portraits, which is not my forte, I stuck with my own style and made them kind of like innovated it a bit.
Yeah.
And what it was kind of like a given already that I know that anyone, myself included, if you make something that's in good taste, there would always be a client. I mean, regardless of what nationality, when it's good stuff, it's good stuff. So the good thing about being in Siargao also, it was a very good. I'm the longest staying tattoo artist, by the way. That's one of my best claims to the island. So what's good about being a tattoo artist in the island is you meet people that are quite open-minded, especially with the demographic that you're attracting. They're surfers, they are artists. So I get more inspired because they kind of see what I'm doing, and they appreciate it. And so when it comes to the collaboration, they just give me an idea, and they already have an idea of what I'm gonna make for what style I have. So it's already like at 30%. Then I just work on it, and then it happens, and they get the tattoo.
So what has the feedback been like, particularly for non-Filipinos? Because for Filipinos, it's a culture and a style that we understand, or that it's part of us. But what was it like for foreigners who asked you to tattoo a design for them?
Well, I would say it was, for them, it was aesthetic, and they also appreciated. Most of them would primarily think because it looked good, and then they also, but some of them also appreciated the symbolism and the behind it.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, there are also cases where they also like getting the tattoo because I'm their friend. It makes it even more meaningful. And I guess it's that all those things, and of course when they enjoy their lifestyle here, they had a great time on the island or with me or whatever. It even makes it more special for them when they get a tattoo from me. So those are what that's kind of like the feedback, and they're very much appreciative because it reminds them so much of the lifestyle they had, or the times that they had on the island.
Yeah. So I imagine, because considering the amount of posts that you have of your clients and of the designs that you have on your Instagram, it's difficult for me to choose a favorite. So which one has been your favorite? Why is it so meaningful for you?
That's why I sent you so many photos, because it's very subjective.
Yeah.
It really depends on my mood. But So difficult. But I would say like it just changes. You know, you could pick anything there at random, and it was my favorite at one point in time. You know, but
Mhm.
you know, like when I do tattoo, sometimes your creativity is kind of like you know, it's like compartmentalized. You know, like you kind
Yeah.
of, you know, I have to consider their ideas and my
Mhm.
ideas. Whereas that's when it comes to tattooing. So when it's customized stuff, you have to kind of like be more, yeah, you have to consider their inputs as well. Whereas when I do work like this, it's just more for art's sake. So sometimes I just make art just for art's sake, and it's a different feeling. It's just because I just want to draw. So
Yeah.
you know, they're like different sides to it.
Mhm.
So I would say when it comes to tattooing, it's more challenging.
Mhm.
And then when I just want to have a great time or a good time, or if I, you know, just for leisure, I would just paint and just do
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah. So in all that you do, whether it's tattooing or painting, sketching, graphics designing, you always have that particular Filipino style. Is that right?
of course. I mean, uh, that's like I don't. To be honest, Jessica,
Mhm.
I don't even think about it. It's like it's already innate. You know, it's like
Yeah.
yeah, it's because I'm Filipino, and you know, if you were to do art, it's usually something that, you know, that really reflects your personality. Of course, that's
Yeah.
also a big chunk of my personality.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So ito, before we continue with our next question, we just like to acknowledge some of our viewers who are watching right now.
Mhm.
To Julian Narciso Rodriguez, to Ramil Briones Jr., to Cherry Ruby. Thank you so much for
My mom.
watching.
That's my
Oh
mom.
yeah, that's my son. She's so
So
proud of
proud.
you.
Such a
Yeah.
proud mom.
We also have here Nico, Easy Rider OK, Nate Berkey, and Cara Belsinia. Yeah, thank
My
you so much
friends,
guys for watching.
friends and cousins. Wow, this is so supportive.
Of course, of course.
Okay, let's talk muna about Siargao kasi you know, I have so many friends there that if they think of Siargao kasi they have always
Mhm.
had that best travel experience na meron sila.
Mhm.
So sa'yo naman, what is the best thing in Siargao para lang sa mga viewers natin, especially
Uh,
those who are maybe after pandemic, they're planning to go back to Philippines and enjoy the island. So you as been in Siargao for quite some time now, diyan ka pala pinanganak noon lumaki lang siya sa Davao tapos bumalik lang siya.
Di
Zamboanga.
Sa,
po,
From
Zamboanga.
Sambuanga
Zamboanga
po.
siya.
Yeah, opo,
Okay, from Zamboanga, nag-Davao, and then ngayon nasa Siargao.
Yes.
opo,
Okay,
for the
so
past
what
9
is
years.
the best place para sa dyan sa Siargao for our viewers, let's say, if they happen to visit yung place?
Mhm.
Okay, first of all, prior to all the Siargao boom, if I may explain, the reason why I live in Siargao because it's very simple, and
Mhm.
you know the quality of life is very good. You know, fresh fish, good surf, and
Mhm.
there are a lot of good locals here.
Mhm.
So the best places I would, well, the people who appreciate Siargao are the ones who pretty much appreciate good quality lifestyle like nature or surf more especially.
Mhm.
So in general, Siargao, if you surf, it's one of the best in the world
Mm.
probably. Now, if you want to eat, there are a lot of good restaurants here. There are a lot of good chefs living on the island. You know, people that love the lifestyle. So we are like interacting with so many talented artists and cooks and chefs and whatnot.
Mhm.
So I would say just explore because it keeps on changing. It's very dynamic. Of course, we have the
Mhm.
classics. Like my house, I live near Harana. That's one of my favorite spots. It's pretty much my front yard. And after Harana, and the Harana beachfront is one of the best surf spots in the Philippines. It's called Tuaton. And so it's very subjective. If you want to party, it's also good. But we're kind of veering away from that already because we want people to actually, nowadays, the community and the LGU are
Mhm.
trying to start early and end early for the sake of the locals so they could rest. So it's
Mhm.
also changing. And because here in Siargao, I would like to say that their expectation shouldn't be like it's Boracay because the people here are very good. You know, they're good quality people. It's like if you stay long enough or live long enough, it's like free education. You'll meet very good, interesting characters, locals, Filipinos, or otherwise. And one of the main things I would like for people to know, which is kind of like a lot of my friends now are advocating for, is you have to respect the locals because the lifestyle that we have here is different. You know, the status quo that we're used to, or whether from what country we're from or what city we're from, does not necessarily apply here. You know, what I love about this place is my local friends are very humble, but they live very good lives. And they're very, you know, they surf they're probably one of the best surfers in the world. They're very simple and they're very modest and they're very generous. So I would like to tell the viewers, you know, if ever they visit, they have to keep in mind that the locals, they've been here way longer than all of us.
Yeah.
So for me, the whole Siargao experience is not just the where to go. It's about, you know, being amidst the locals and enjoying the place with them. And don't forget, also be respectful.
Of course.
Oh, I miss Philippines.
Same. Same.
You know, while you're describing Siargao, you know, my mind is like flying there already, and I'm excited to be home again. Anyway, we have here one last question in
Apa.
So, as a Filipino and as an artist, okay, how do you find empowerment in this field?
Well, I would say maybe empowerment for me in this field is to be able to do it for the sake of doing it and otherwise. You know, being able to have the privilege to do art, whether as your means of income or you know another means of income, or just to be able to do art for art's sake. You know, that's how I look at empowerment in this field.
All right. Okay. So for me kasi, no, I appreciate artists kasi like sa category ni Inigo. It's because, you know, this is our history. This is part of us being a Filipino. And yung artist na katulad niya is, you know, still sharing it and doing it and appreciating it. That's actually like something kasi di ba parang wow, ito yung totoong hashtag Pinoy Pride.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Yung pinapalaki talaga yung culture natin.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Kasi you should only appreciate yung other culture kapag, alam mo yun, dapat i-appreciate mo muna yung sariling culture
atin.
mo. Oo. Because you cannot hide from this glitz and glam of whatever man yung current na situation mo ngayon. At the end of the day, you're a Filipino, so you should not forget your roots.
Yeah, exactly.
Oo. Kaya ako marunong din ako mag-Bisaya, pero accent Ilonggo ko. Okay, so siguro yung ano na lang natin before we say goodbye, of course, in behalf of Kayako, ayan, family, we would like to say thank you so much again to you, Inigo. And of course, guys, watch out po on our next limited edition watch that we're going to release. It's going to be an Amihan series.
Yes.
Okay, and of course, we will be going to feature Inigo Jaldon as our first Filipino artist on our watch and on our watch box.
Yes.
Ayan. So
all around siya.
Exactly. This is our way of actually appreciating and recognizing Filipino talents, especially those who loves our culture as Filipino. Kaya yun yung dahilan natin dito.
True.
So message na lang siguro to our viewers, Inigo, any inspiring message to everyone is Filipinos who are in the Philippines right now, or our viewers Filipino abroad.
All right. Wow. All right. Well, I would like to say that well, very simple. Just don't forget your roots. You know, always remember where you're coming from. That's just pretty much
simple, but
simple,
wow.
but boom.
Exactly. Oh, you can be as successful as you want. You can fly if you want to success, but just don't forget your root, and that's very important.
True. Don't forget where you came
Yeah, kasi
from.
mangyayari doon, if you are not remembering about your root, then it's not you.
True.
Tama?
Yeah.
Kaya yun.
Where's your identity?
True.
Right?
Ayan. Okay. So, Jessica.
Salamat, Jessica. Salamat, Jun.
Thank you.
Thank you, Inigo. Thank you.
Okay. Alright guys, so yan po ang ating first guest for our online show, TATAK INDIO, wherein we feature talented Filipino and inspiring Filipinos from all over the world. So watch out for our second episode on the 25th. Am I correct?
Yes.
We'll be featuring another Filipino artist naman from Canada. So ito naman kakaiba yung kanyang storya kasi nga self-taught na artist siya. And she's actually making money yan from out of her talent, at the same time spreading yung ano natin noon, yung heritage natin,
Yes.
yung culture natin as Filipino sa Canada mismo. Kaya abangan niyo po yan. Again, thank you so much guys for watching. Everyone, God bless, stay safe, and see you on our next episode. That's all.
That's all.
Thank you, Inigo.
Bye.
Ingat.
Bye.
Okay, and syempre, bago ang lahat, ayan. So, para po sa mga viewers natin, reminder lang natin siguro, friend, no, sa lahat po ng mga viewers natin, guys, do check out our, our website.
Yes.
Yeah, our website is?
Our website is kayako.ph.
And also, watch out po yung mga upcoming. Thank you, guys. Bye.